one of the hills that I die on, I don't care who I have this conversation with. I've talked to a lot of guys now in my private consults, some very successful dudes. These guys are very, very hard to replace. I'm talking tall, handsome, wealthy, good looking, in some cases ridiculously good looking, nice real estate, cars, family lives. They do everything for the family, the vacations, the Thanksgivings, the Christmas, invite the in-laws in, do shit with them all the time. Sometimes these guys, during the course of their lives, women throw themselves at them, young, attractive women, and they step out. Now, you may argue that's wrong. You may argue it doesn't matter. He's a high-value man. He can do whatever the hell he wants. You can argue whatever you want, but here's the point of contention that I have with that women's pride really screws this up at, okay? You're married in a family. You've got small children. Your job is to bring home the bacon. You're crushing in the world. You're influential. You're competent. You're funny. You've got a good social network. You're well connected. Blah, 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 blah. Like you tick off all the boxes. Married to a chick. She finds out, doesn't like it because of pride, because pride being so strong in them, being such an important component of how they perform mathematical equations when making decisions. She's like, fuck this. I'm going to get divorced. You've cheated on me, sort of thing. But they don't understand the difference when men do it and women do it, right? Like when women do it, it's a betrayal, because when women engage with a guy, it's with somebody that they really like or are in love with. Could be a guy that they're pursuing, could be a guy from her past. When they step out, it's a betrayal. When a guy does it, it's often just exercise. It's just like, whatever, stupid idea, go away, sort of thing. Some bimbo, so to speak. But breaking up a family out of a point of pride, alienating a father from his kids, and again, I've seen this story before, okay? Some people will be like, well, he shouldn't have cheated then. Hear me out. Alienating a father from his kids, stealing half of his wealth. Now, she goes out after they're separated, after that acrimonious, could be 1 year, could be 3 year period, could be 100 grand in legal fees and fighting, could be $500,000, could be $1 million. One of my lawyer friends was telling me that he once dealt with a couple for over 2 years, and they were fighting over a fucking couch. Spent $80,000 in legal fees fighting over a couch. It was a nice couch, but they fought over a couch. Like, this is the point of pride that I'm talking about, right? So she breaks up this family, alienates the father from the kids because she's pissed off at him because he banged some hotter, younger thing, whatever, some bimbo that he forgot about, but she never forgets about. And then she starts dating other guys, and guess what? She's bringing new men into the house, non-blood related relatives. I've talked about this before. I've mentioned this many times when it comes up. But one of the most dangerous things that you can do to a child, especially a girl, boys suffer from this too, but not as much as girls. Any guy that's older, that's had some experience dating, talked to women, runs into some fucked up women that have unresolved childhood trauma because stepdads or stepbrothers or some version of a non-blood related relative violated them when they were kids, right? Which is totally wrong. And her now introducing non-blood relatives into the household. Maybe she meets a guy, maybe he's got a couple sons, she's got 3 daughters or something like that, 3 young daughters. Dude's got older. There's all kinds of things that can go incredibly wrong over pride, because she can't swallow her pride and just look the other way and be like, whatever. There's a lot of women that will, by the way. There's a lot of women, that will. I've talked to guys where it's just like, she didn't even care. She just didn't even want to know about it. She didn't. Last thing that most women don't want is some chick showing up, knocking on the door and being like, surprise, got Rich's kid, sort of thing. Hey, look, woo. They don't want that, right? Because that's embarrassing, right? That would really be like a nail crusher into their pride. You taking a girl on a vacation somewhere that's important to your family, to your wife or something like that, that would be retarded. That's the stupidest thing that you could do, right? Going to a restaurant that you bring your family to and somebody sees you there, snaps a little picture. Oh, look, he's at a restaurant with this Twinkie or whatever you want to call him, right? Floozy. That'll be a point of pride, right? So guys, don't be stupid, first of all. But the pride component, women operate on it. It's so important to them. It's so valuable. They hold it so hard and close to their heart. It's incredible how many equations that a woman's pride is used in in determining life-changing decisions, like divorce, for example, right? And I'm not even kidding. Like, this is like the story that I'm telling you about, where this guy's wife decided to untie the knot because he stepped out. It's not like he had a mistress that he was keeping in another condo. It's not like he had multiple girlfriends. It's not like it was a regular thing. It was like rare, one-off things, bimbos that he did not care about, that he never really talked about afterwards. But because of pride, she had to untie the knot, rip apart the family, remove him from his kids, steal half of his wealth, and then start introducing new men into the household. He had daughters, by the way. New men into the household that may potentially be problematic for his kids. That's dangerous. It's incredibly bad decision making. This is what pride does to women. They'll end up single because they won't settle. Like, that's another one that you'll see a lot on the Ladies Night podcast, right? You'll see a lot of women that have these remarkable expectations, massive long list of important things. And they're like 32, 35, 38. And they're like, by the time they get into their 30s, especially mid 30s, they really start feeling the heat for like they got the baby rabies, right? Like, hey, lady, where's the babies? Talked about it in my book. It's on Audible. I actually say it in that exact tone. Hey, lady, where's the babies, right? And they start getting anxious. And it's like, okay, you talk to these gals on the show on Ladies Night, and it's like, okay, well, what were you doing in your 20s? What were you doing in your early 30s? You know, what were you doing in your late teens? And it's like a consistent sequence of bad decisions, a lot of the time with genuinely good guys with good intentions, that they'll walk away from because of pride. Oh, he wasn't, he wasn't influential enough, or, oh, he didn't make enough money. He was only making $150,000 a year. Like, my girlfriends are with guys that make, 7 figures a year. $150,000 barely cuts it in this city, sort of thing, right? And it's a matter of pride, and they'll walk out. Or like, the chicks that are like, the guy asked her to do some low tier activity, like doing some laundry, cleaning up, doing some dishes, cooking every once in a while. And they're like, I won't do anything for the express pleasure of a man. Not in those words, but that's essentially where pride kicks in. And they're like, I'm too proud for this, sort of thing. And then these, they end up older with no man and cats and dogs and a box wine, subscription. It's unfortunate, but it's a reality of women. I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full-length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here, and pin down below in the top comment, you'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line, books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.